Hi guys, what's up? It's me again, just a father, just going to give you guys some tips and ideas that I wish I knew between 0 and 1. I'm not saying taking care of a baby is that hard, but it really becomes a lot easier if you just invest in certain moment and you understand how I can avoid that in the future. So before we start with the 5 rules, all I can say is don't make the baby. That's the first one. So it's rule number 0. Do not make the baby if you're not ready. Do not make the baby if you want the baby. Make the baby if you want to be a father or a mother. So to start off, I can start off with this beautiful picture. Try to keep everything ready before the baby starts crying. What do I mean by that? Well, usually when you have a baby, you don't have a lot of time. You're taking care of a human being that usually is gonna cry almost every 3 or 4 hours because he wants to eat or whatever, right? And the breast is always ready, depending on the woman, if she can. But if she can't, or if she decides that she doesn't want to do that, the bottle is very annoying. Because if it's not clean, because you're gonna use it almost every 3 hours and you need to keep it clean, it can create some hectic situation like, oh, the baby, so what, the bottle's not ready, oh no. And you're gonna be like, me, we can just clean it, right? Well, I'm like, no, you can't. Because you need to disinfect that stuff in a special thing. I had this cool machine that you put it in, it boils the water. It has to be clean. If you don't, you can just put it in the cooking pan and turn it on, which I've done sometimes when I had to clean like 10. But guess what? Look at this picture. You can already guess. I forgot and it's it burned. Just see it like this. A baby gets used to the way of life you teach him. Now, everything cannot be perfect, but if he gets used to in a way that he is crying because you don't have the stuff prepared, don't be sad if he cries every time when he wants something. Tip number 2. In the beginning, I have to admit, me and my wife had a lot of breast milk issues because my baby had a type of a mouth. It's happening to a lot of babies. It's not in the proper design. I don't know why, but it's not the proper design, and he could not latch onto the breast. He was crying a lot more because even if we had everything clean, the breast milk was not coming out and he was suffering, right? It was actually very hard. The milk just did not come out, and when he latched on, it was more like a pacifier, but we didn't know that he was using it as a pacifier. So whenever he fell asleep, he was just super tired, crying, and finally he fell asleep. We were like, oh, milk came out. We were kind of half happy, but he was so tired he fell asleep, and it was a bad time for me. Make sure that your breast is empty. You can just touch the breast. If you touch the breast, for example, and it's really hard, it's clearly you're producing too much milk, or none of the milk is coming out. So if you touch the breast and it's hard, and suddenly the baby eats and it's still that hard, nah man, be careful, focus on that, and go to the doctor so they can realize what the heck is happening. Because we noticed there was like a big issue when my son peed, and when we removed the diaper, there was like pee sand. That was the worst moment in my life. I started bawling because I thought I sucked at being a father, because I knew something was wrong. But I didn't follow my instinct and tell my wife he's not eating, because I didn't want my wife to feel bad that her breast didn't work at that moment. It's like a whole psychological battle. So it's all about teamwork, but be careful and take notice as a man what is happening and follow your instinct. Tip number 3. Don't be a ninja. What do I mean by that? When we put the baby to sleep back in the day with all the issue with the problems that I was explaining, the fact that he fell asleep, we were so worried and everybody had to act like a ninja. Everybody. You were not allowed to make any freaking sound. And it kind of sucked because whenever he slept, that means I could not do the dishes, I could not play a game, I could not put the TV on, and yeah, not fun. And we didn't have like a humongous house back then. The fact that it was so hard to put him to sleep sometimes. Usually he fell asleep on the sofa next to us and we just read a book. We didn't bother to put him in his bed and everything because you had to walk with him and he might wake up. So when we put him to sleep in the living room, then everybody had to be silent, which sucked. Don't do that. Don't ninja around your kid. When I had my second baby, I did everything with him. Everything. We went outside, we played games. I didn't care if he was 1 or 2 months or whatever. We just did stuff. As long as the baby seems to be happy, we cover him up and we go have fun outside. Why? Because if you keep him super protected like that, any weird sound is gonna wake him up. It's gonna be horrible for you. And second, the fact that you don't even take him out, he won't even get used to the outside. What do I mean with that? Well, if he's always inside, every time he goes outside, he will get sick. In my experience, of all the moms that I know that keep their kids inside, oh no, it's cold outside. Trust me, their kids get sick always. Because if the body of the kid doesn't get used to it, it's horrible. He needs to build an immune system. That's why the Russian people take their baby just cold water. There's a reason why they do it. And from my experience, first one, super protective. Second one, nada de protection. And guess what? The second one is super freaking healthy. Hey man, if it works on a baby and other mom confirms that, hey man, it might be true. Number 4. I don't agree with the idea to put a TV so your kids can be entertained so you can do something else. I think it's very bad. Because the fact that they watch TV at such a young age to distract themselves so you can do something else already says a lot about you that, hey man, you don't want to be a father. That's my opinion at least. And it happened to me. I didn't want to be that much of a father in the way that I thought I am right now. Now I enjoy it a lot more. But in the beginning, I was like, well, it will be okay. He can just watch TV or anything. I did it with the first one. Didn't do it with the second one. The second one, I always talk to him like an adult. No goo goo gaga. No, like an adult. Pim pam pum. Ask him stuff, tell him stuff, make jokes with him. Guess what? Right now, my 3.5-year-old, he's gangster. Everybody is like, whoa, wow, he's very talkative. He's very attentive. It's like he actually understands 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gangster conversation. You invest in a kid and you get what you want. So if you don't invest and you're hoping that the day that he talks, I'm going to invest because finally I get something back, dude, you're missing out. TV, phones and everything, it just calms them down so easily. So the fact that you don't let them be bored, that can be a normal thing, keep giving them the phone and all the stuff. You're teaching them being bored is bad. Being bored is good. They will invent stuff and they will do stuff and they don't rage. It's a kid. You can outsmart him every day. And even if we're talking right now between 0 and 1, keep joking, keep making him laugh, keep playing rolling up games and everything. It's so much fun. And last but not least, do not normalize picking him up. Just let him play. Let him be bored in a place. Give him space. Make your house ultra safe. Put a lot of toys and stuff like that. And once in a while play with him. But you don't have to entertain him 24/7 if he's entertained. But if he calls you, entertain him. Just balance it out. There is no one solution how you have to solve or help your kid. But you have to one day be there with him, one day don't. A few hours yes, a few hours no. You know this COVID thing? My kid, the little one, not the big one, we didn't have time to watch him as much as the big one. Usually, that's why the second child is usually more independent. And guess what? The baby became super independent. We let him play. He just walked around on his knee, pim pam boom. My wife was watching him in the living room, but it was all Gucci, right? And now I noticed that the first one is always like, hey, I want your attention, I want your attention, back then. But compared to the second one is, well, I don't need you. I have the car right here. I'm gonna play here. Easy. It's just you're the one that have to notice the things that the kid is doing. If you're always there to teach him how to understand, you're gonna have to do that for the rest of your life. That's why you have all these bad, stupid, weird kids that always scream mommy and everything, because they have no idea how to adapt to a situation. Kids are not stupid. They adapt to the freaking world. Bad stuff, good stuff, they learn. But if they always need to learn when you're there, you might be creating a situation far more worse than you would expect in the next few years. Look man, the first one, I did so many mistakes, but a lot less than other parents because I was so involved in his life. The second one, woo, super easy. I was so involved in his life by looking at him, but gave him the space to be independent and learn by himself. And now, one is 3.5, one is 6.5, and it's all Gucci. I got more stories to tell you, but these are like the 5 tips that I would say you have to focus a lot when they're like that age, and we will see what happens in your future. If you agree, let me know. If you don't, if you got any tips, let me know. And yeah, let's stay in touch. Right? Comment, give it a like and everything, and hey, see you guys next time. Peace.